Okay, good morning again, everyone. So I'm going to start sharing my screen just to show what today agenda is. There are several topics, and it was me who added all of them. So if you have any questions, please type it here. Okay, traditionally, we need to highlight any topics that bubbles up in support for last week, anything alarming, and we need to find who's going to be the next moderator. I guess, yeah, since we're here, Leo, maybe anything that worth mentioning?
Yeah, Alex, I was the primary last week. So nothing alarming, just normal discussions here and there. There is the PR that I opened to remove the liveness probe in Argo CD controller.
Mm-hmm.
That is, well, there's some discussion going on there. This is something that may be worth mentioning because removing the liveness probe, I think it might be scary. But as we discussed, it seems that what we understand that liveness probe is not really useful for the controller itself.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some concerns, right? So I'm mainly bringing it up to maybe ask someone if you know about a real useful use case for the current liveness probe controller.
I should contribute because I added that liveness probe. I remember as far as I know, it used to make sense, and then after we made changes in actually implementation of that liveness probe, as far as I know, it doesn't make sense anymore. But I'll just comment there. You know, maybe there are different opinions, but it's basically, okay. I think now it turned into like famous Kubernetes anti-pattern to have exact same thing in both liveness probe and health and readiness probe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we need a moderator. I want to volunteer because I was kind of absent for like a month. That's why attendance in the community. So I want to be a primary for next week, unless someone else wants it. Okay, I hear no objections, so I'm promoting myself to moderator for the next week, and I need primary. Oh, sorry, I need secondary. I need a partner. Anyone wants to join? For those who don't know, moderator basically responsible for just helping people in GitHub discussions.
I can try, Alex, if there is.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess that secondary can just. I guess the idea that secondary may be less experienced and can just ask primary questions in Slack. So please feel free to ping me in Slack.
Yeah, sure. If I couldn't get any of those, I'll Slack you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I added a couple of topics, and that was kind of not much. So one is, I guess we really delayed 2.4, and then I spent like a couple of days day before yesterday testing it, and we merged few bug fixes. I know for sure terminal feature works. I just saw people confirmed that several users confirmed that the latest release candidate fixed the terminal issues. And I guess it's a question to like everyone. Do you know about any other outstanding bugs? Something, maybe we can use this document to actually track it and just literally mention tickets here. And then if not, maybe we can just, since we recently published release candidate, we still maybe should give people a chance to report bugs and test it. But I guess maybe it's a good idea to schedule release on Monday. unless anyone aware of any bad blocking bug. And then, okay, it sounds like no. And I actually, there was one issue that I just wanted to discuss. I know that Daniel worked on supporting 124 Kubernetes. Basically, it's impossible to, I mean, it's not a blocker right now, but like CLI unable to register 2.4 cluster. So it's a big usability issue. Not 2.4, sorry, 124 clusters. And I guess, I don't know, what are your thoughts, people? Like, is it, do you think it's okay to release without that bug fix and maybe deliver the CLI improvement as a patch release as like 2.4.
Which bug are you talking about?
It's impossible to, like, in Kubernetes 124, they introduced a behavior change. Basically, if you create a service account, there will be no secrets with the service account token automatically created. Now the secret has to be created manually, and our CLI tool, Argo CD CLI, kind of expect that secret will be auto-created. And that's why it's like Argo CD can manage 124 clusters, but everyone kind of have to manually create service account and token in if if Argo if user needs to connect the cluster using bearer token, it has to be done manually. CLI won't work.
I see. Yeah, I guess if it were me, I would probably say that we should include that bug fix in the release.
Mhm.
Just because 1.24 has been out for like a little over a month now.
Mhm.
I feel like it would be a better experience. I mean, if people had to wait like 3 days, I don't know how much of a delay there would
Yeah,
be.
it's kind of, I'm just suggesting to release it without this fix, because we keep delaying to do basically
Yeah, true.
something else will bubble up day after tomorrow, and this change seems to be small enough to release it as a patch release. But that's why I mentioned Daniel, he worked on the pull request. So if you think it's dangerous, maybe it's good to call it out now. That's
Yeah, my only hesitation with it is that one thing that's kind of interesting here is that basically I think K3s does not have a stable 1.24 version released yet, and for the purposes of CI, it would be nice to basically add that to testing moving forward. So that maybe it would be good to have some runs in here where we see it's working properly with K3s.
we can, because it potentially affects so many people, maybe we can kind of split it, basically test, split the implementation and get this PR in and test it manually, and maybe have a test, but the test can be disabled because we cannot really, the test won't work in the CI. And then once K3s has stable version, we can update CI to start using the stable version and then enable the test. That's kind of one possibility.
Sure, I think that makes sense. But yeah, I think for the most part here, I can elevate it from draft to ready to review and get people's thoughts on it, and we can try and move it forward.
Okay, and
Daniel, does it only do this behavior against 1.24?
Yeah, so the way that it's currently implemented, it will try and check and see if the service account already has a secret associated with it. And basically use that as or it'll check for the specific bearer token type secret to make sure that it doesn't essentially like create duplicate ones or anything of that nature.
Oh, so it doesn't depend on it doesn't depend on like a hard version check. It checks to see if the secret is there. Okay.
Yep.
I'm curious to understand if this is also affecting users where they have already Argo CD installed and then they upgrade their Kubernetes clusters to the latest version, or if it just affects new installations in the newer Kubernetes version. Do you have a guess, Alex or Daniel or anybody else?
Well, upgrading wouldn't delete the secret that had already been created, so that would already be available. But for everything going forward after the creation, it wouldn't create the secret.
Yeah, my understanding is the same. It won't. Basically, it only affect users who is going to connect a new cluster. Because it's going to be changed in Argo CD CLI. So if a cluster is already connected, then users should be totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So cool. So maybe it will make it into final release, because since it's a CLI tool and I'm kind of maybe over optimistic, but looks like it's hard to. It's either working or not working because there's not so many moving parts. So maybe we can include it into final release if it makes it before like Monday, Tuesday. Okay.
But I think I also agree that you shouldn't block the release because of this, because we can always release a patch one right after, right?
Yeah, that was, I think that I wanted to maybe hear from Daniel if what he was thinking, is it too big for patch or not? And as I understand, it's good enough for patch, basically. Just we can consider it as a bug fix. So.
Yep, makes sense.
Cool. Okay. I didn't see any new topics. Oh, one new topic was created actually by someone about Argo rollouts approvals.
Oh yeah.
All right. So really quick, I don't want to spend too much time on this topic, and basically the goal is not to discuss the proposal. I felt like we just lost it in, it's like 90% done, and it's very anticipated feature. And I was trying to figure out is there anything blocking it, or I was about to just approve and merge, but I want to hear if there was anything else that we forget. And then if you don't know, the proposal is to basically give an option to use server-side apply and some additional, details about some edge cases.
Yeah, I wrote this proposal, Alex, and we had quite a few discussions. I updated almost all of them. I think there's just one missing, which is exceptional scenario provided by ByteDance use case. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to add that to the goals to be goals to be achieved in the proposal, just to make sure we don't miss that use case. And I'll ping you, and then in my opinion, we can just go ahead and merge it.
Okay, cool. I think it's maybe, and I just know that we already have implementation almost ready. So once proposal is merged, we will be really close to just close it.
The one in GitOps engine is already merged, and now we need to make it more flexible and implement it in Argo CD code base.
So this one would be targeting 2.5, I assume.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Very looking forward to get it done. Yeah. Okay. And then last topic, rollout approvals from them.
So my question was just, I've noticed a little bit of a slowdown with getting approvals into Argo rollouts. And I wanted to just, I have a pretty good set list of people in my head for Argo CD stuff that I can go to if something needs approval. Pasha's there, Alexander, there's just a lot of people that I could go to. With rollouts, I'm a little uncertain. It seems like work is kind of slowed down there. And so I just wanted to get a sense of who are the kind of go-to approvers for rollouts right now.
I know it's not me because yeah, I literally like what I was doing sometimes is, you know, when there was a pull request that kind of related to maybe old parts of rollouts that I was familiar with, people were using me for rubber stamp progress, but basically it was possible to do it only if the change was kind of simple and then kind of easy to review because it was related to familiar part of code, familiar to me. So for now, I just cannot help much. Maybe Leo knows, like if Zach is the person. He's not yet approver, but I guess
Yeah, there is an internal discussion into it because we are facing a similar issue ourselves. So, and Hari is leading that. So the idea is to have more approvals for Argo rollouts shortly. So yeah, something that is going to be discussed in the next approval meetings.
Okay, so we're aware that it's an issue, and you said you want to discuss in the maintainers meeting, or you're saying you're going to discuss with some.
In the maintainers meeting, I think the next. Yeah, sorry. In the next maintainers meeting, Hari is going to bring up this topic for discussion.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that works. Thank you.
Looks like I think it's maybe situational that kind of process works against us. I mean, rollouts is smaller than CD, right? And if it doesn't have that many approvers, maybe we should just, you know, make process more flexible. Yeah. Okay. All right. We ran out of topics. Anything else we want to discuss today? If not, then we can wrap up earlier.
Alex, I just had one question.
Mhm.
So the timeline for 2.5, would it be considered from May to August, something like that, or
I feel
just
like
after?
we have this kind of hack. I mean, we can consider it from May, and then we can cut the release candidate in when May, you know, basically 3 months later, and then we can release 1 month later, and it's still going to be 3 months between releases.
Well,
It's just basically, I mean, seems like we do it all the time. Like we create release candidate every 3 months, and then we have like kind of months of bug fixes, and then we release. So basically, technically, we still maintain this 3 months cycle between releases. So I would just try to keep doing the same. So I mean, basically, we can say that yes, release candidate will be ready by. I just struggle to figure out, like struggle to add 3 months to to the May, but in the head we can.
So that's around August first week. Yeah. Yeah. August first week. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And I'm curious if you're asking it because you're working on multi process.
Yeah, I'm working on to. Yeah, I just wanted to have a date in my mind. Yeah, because I think both of them would require time for even reviewing. So just wanted to know that. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Sounds like this is it for today. Thanks everyone. I'm going to stop sharing, stop